Hello everyone, and welcome back to Explain the Charts. Today, May 29th, 2025, we're taking a look at Bitcoin, or BTCUSD, examining recent news and events alongside our chart data. We'll analyze how current affairs are potentially influencing price movements and identify key levels to watch. First, let's discuss some of the recent headlines. J.D. Vance, along with Trump's sons, spoke at the Bitcoin 2025 conference, indicating growing political support for crypto. GameStop also made headlines with their first Bitcoin acquisition, demonstrating increased adoption from traditional companies. However, Bitcoin has also seen some volatility, with recent drops potentially linked to investor concerns about the Trump administration's trade policies. Now let's move on to the charts. Looking at the daily chart, we can see a significant uptrend from January 2024, peaking around March 2025. Following that peak, Bitcoin experienced a correction, finding support around the $60,000 level. More recently, we see Bitcoin has recovered somewhat, trading in the $67,000 to $70,000 range. If pro-crypto sentiment continues to grow, perhaps spurred by some of the political support we mentioned earlier, it could fuel another bullish run. However, keep an eye on that $60,000 support level, as a break below that could signal further downside. Let's zoom into the 1-hour chart to get a better sense of the recent price action. We can see more clearly the volatility around the $70,000 level. Price bounced between $67,000 and $71,000 before settling a little lower. It's also worth noting that this chart has relatively low volume, meaning greater volatility is possible. This lack of volatility catalysts is mentioned by Cointelegraph as potentially problematic. Now, let's zoom in further on a specific range of candles from May 20th to today, May 29th. Here, we can identify some potential short-term support and resistance levels. A resistance level appears to be forming around $70,000, with support near $67,000. A breakout above $70,000 could signal a short-term bullish move, while a break below $67,000 could indicate further bearish pressure. Let's switch over to the 15-minute chart to look at the very latest price action. Looking at the 15-minute chart, it reveals the most recent volatility, dipping from the $69,000 range to around $67,000. It's currently around $68,300. Short-term, look for small scalp trading options from these smaller movements. Let's look at some possible outcomes. Bullish scenario, continued positive news, perhaps related to further adoption or favorable regulation, could drive Bitcoin back towards its all-time highs, potentially testing $75,000 in the short term. I'd say there's a 40% chance of this happening. Bearish scenario, negative news or a significant market correction could send Bitcoin back down towards the $60,000 support. I'd place a 30% likelihood on this. Consolidation, Bitcoin may continue to trade sideways between $67,000 and $70,000 as investors await further catalysts. This is the most likely outcome, with a 30% probability. In summary, keep a close eye on these key price levels: $60,000, major support; $67,000, short-term support; $70,000, short-term resistance; and $75,000, potential short-term target. Also, be aware of upcoming announcements from the Bitcoin 2025 conference and any policy changes from the Trump administration, as these could significantly impact the market. Remember, these are just potential scenarios, and the crypto market is inherently volatile. Always do your own research and manage your risk accordingly. Thanks for watching Explain the Charts, and we'll see you next time.